So welcome everybody to another week of
Stop
Free
for
to
a
Heal, and we are here to trying to heal the ravages of mass incarceration. And what did you say?
Stop for a second.
Stop what?
Okay.
Yes.
When I said I snuffed out 2 people, you was looking at me funny because I know your mama drives me up and back, but I did them both at once.
He is so crazy.
Only counted at once.
Okay, he is so crazy. We listen. Anyway, we were doing checking, and this man is just absolutely insane.
No,
And so
I'm
we're
just trying to
accustomed to
be
him, and we deal with him. And again, this is Free to Heal, and we are formerly incarcerated or loved ones of people who have been incarcerated. And we come together every week, just trying to get over the things that incarceration has caused all of us. And we talk a lot about relationships, but let's be clear, everything is on a relationship basis. All work, all friends, family, everything is about relationships. So we try to talk about all of those kinds of relationships.
You know, sometimes like you was saying, but sometimes when things happen out here, it's not as bad as things were in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you say being out here is better than any day in there, that's not true.
Well, I just heard too many people. All I can tell you is that seems to be the consensus of all the people that all the people I've talked to that have been incarcerated.
But you know, I'm honored.
And yeah. And so they're saying is he's commenting on a statement that I made that I've heard from lots of incarcerated people, which is my worst day out here is better than my best day being incarcerated. And he's saying that's not his testimony. And that's fine. It's fine for that not to be your experience. But I will say that I've heard it from too many people. So I have to believe there's some truth to it.
Because sometimes out here, you get so messed up, and you think when you was inside it wasn't that messed up. That's why I'm saying that.
I understand.
But some days out here gets really funky.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. They is funky.
Well, it ain't idea I want to go back, but I had better days inside than some of the days I've had out here.
And that's
Well,
your experience. That's your experience, and nobody can deny that. Mr. Doyle, I'm gonna have to come to you. Or yeah, you come to me, sweetie. Mm-hmm.
That's our classic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. And how long did you do?
That everybody was talking about this out here. They was having so many problems. They made the statement that they would rather be back in prison where everything is being done for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not one of a consensus.
Right.
It would be the hard guy.
Right.
So always try to ask a question so that you have a understanding. So that you will know what's taking place in the matter that makes that statement.
Awesome. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for that clarification too, because I do understand very clearly, like I say, that I just got that from too many people. And so I think in Doyle saying it really is about consensus. And the majority of people that I know feel the way that, say that that's a true statement for them, but there are people who that's not the case. And so there's going to be exceptions to rules, and we don't do hard and fast, or if you don't agree with us, then your opinion is not valid and none of that stuff. That's not where we are here. And so I'm grateful that you even took the time even to mention the fact that no, that's not how you feel.
No.
You know what I mean? And so but I will tell you this though, you really lucked out, because if you were still in there, you wouldn't have met me. And I know I'm the best thing ever happened to you. That's just, I'm just saying. Check. So anyway, we also have a lot of fun here. There was something that came up in a group. For those that don't know, I am fortunate enough to participate in a group. The Solano State Prison allows me to participate in a group on level 3 and level 2 yards. Actually, there's 3 groups. And
So does Folsom.
yeah, well, Folsom, I actually go in and teach, and I'm also in CRC teaching. But at Solano, a concept came up that I really want the input from people who have been incarcerated. And in particular, the men, because these are the people that it came up with, so that we can talk about this. Some of the guys were saying that they have friends, and then there's the woman that they're in love with, and they don't want to give up. They don't want to give up the friend. And I want to understand the concept. I need them to unpack. I need somebody to help unpack that for me, because what is it? And these are the things that confuses me about it. What is it that the friend does? What's the role in that scenario that the friend is playing? And what's the difference in the friend and the woman that you love? I don't understand what the differences are. And has anybody ever had anybody say that to them and been able to understand that or felt that way?
No, because I don't read or write, so I damn sure ain't have no conversation with somebody outside.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah, understood. Anybody?
anybody can read.
Okay.
I have something to say about
Okay,
that.
wait 1 second. I'm gonna come right back to you, but let me have you go ahead and talk to me about it.
Well, I mean, when I was in prison, the girl I had, she had a friend. Now I think it's a little bit different, but I'm gonna talk about on the streets. If I'm on the streets, as long as I'm on the streets, I'm not threatened by my girl's friend. You know what I mean? She should have the opportunity to be who she is and have the friends that she had probably before me. You know what I mean? And I'm not threatened by her friend, no matter how close they are, because I think we're bringing 2 different things to the table. You know what I mean? But if there's an emotion,
Rufus, what they were saying is these are men that are incarcerated that have a friend that they could talk to regularly, and then they have the woman they're in love with that they talk to regularly, and there was this concept that I don't want to let the friend go, and I just didn't understand. I didn't that concept like that, which is
okay, I think
that's
that's a little bit
along the
different.
same lines of what you're saying, but I don't understand the concept. So
No,
wait,
it's not. I don't think that's different. Now, if you're in prison and you got a friend like that, and I think your girl supposed to have that space, supposed to cover that space of whatever that friend is doing. So I mean, because it's like whatever I mean, I can have the friend, but she could never be, that take that space that my girl takes. You know what I mean? I can't. She. I understand what you're saying. I think that person, whoever has that friend, is a little bit more than a friend.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
what I'm
mean?
trying to figure
It's a
out. So
little bit more.
what's the situation? Let me so James got something he want to add. Let me go ahead and let you kind of and slide because that glare out that window is coming. Yeah. So
The thing that and this is my conception, is the friend was always a friend that can never be a girlfriend. She can never have that feeling, that intimacy of a girlfriend. She's always a friend. She was always the confidant. She can never go over into the intimacy of the girlfriend.
Okay, now let me stop you right there. So now if that's the case, why would there be the concept of, but I can't give her up? Why would you have to?
Because when you get into an intimate relationship with your woman, you don't want to have a bunch of drama, because some guys in prison think that they can tell their wives that they have a friend. You know, they feel like they're bold enough to do that, which we know that.
And it didn't work?
And it never works.
Oh, okay.
Because the wife, the intimate partner, is always going to feel like the friend knows too much about her man than she does. So it's always going to be a battle between the two, because the wife the intimate partner will never feel like she fully has her man. And the friend will always feel like, well, that's my friend. He's my friend. He talks to me about this. He talks to me. Really, he's lying to himself, because when you tell a person your intimate, deepest thoughts,
that's a relationship.
That becomes another relationship.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, because that was my concern. And I'm gonna come right to you. Okay, because my question was, what was the difference in function of the friend versus the woman that you're in love with? That was, and so what you're describing is, to me, is that the friend, unless
the friend, he's thinking, this is my friend. Talk to my friend about anything, like my road dog. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Yeah, because I have several of those.
Okay, and then you have that intimate partner.
Yes.
That pillow talk, that intimate partner that you talk to.
Okay.
But you never tell the two. Like, you can go to your partner and say, you know, this such and 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 such.
And you're not gonna say that to your woman.
And you're not gonna go to your significant other and say, whoop, 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 whoop. No, you can't. Okay. Because there's a level of respect you have for that woman, that you will, or that man that you will always hold. Right. And then that friend, mother, and whoppy, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like with your girlfriends. Okay. But he's a male partner. But the thing is this, you're lying to yourself.
Because you're sharing things.
You're not willing to give up your friend. That's the part that overplays, because all my friends knew, and I always tell them, if I ever got in a serious relationship where I want to get married, if I can't introduce you to the woman I'm going to marry, then there's no more friendship.
What you're saying is, then you lying to yourself at that point. But I wanted to make sure I came to you, Damian, because you were saying no about something. You had a strong reaction.
I got several female friends.
Can y'all hear him? Wait, can y'all hear him?
No.
Okay,
no.
So you come closer.
I have several female friends I was involved with, and some I wasn't. And we're on good terms. Only reason why I say good terms because I still help people that I was involved with and everything. That's not true. I don't even think about doing anything with them anymore. Or I think about doing anything with the
Wait, you said no more. You said any more.
I can have some, I have and I haven't, but once it's done, it's done.
Okay, got you.
About when it's done, it's done, but I don't think about that no more. That's not true, because I still help out with kids. I still help out with certain things. And the person I'm with now, we're gonna have to accept it because I'm a people person. You know what I mean? So I don't think about it. You can't trust me to be with me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I'm being honest with people after me, we should be going through any of that. That's not true, because I'm done with them, but I leave on good terms. You know what I mean? I don't sit here. Jail ruined all my relationships. It's not like I get caught cheating, or if I did it, it's just all in jail, and from there I always be on good terms. the one that I would have been on, and other females that was a business present day. I do everything with the person down with, gotta understand it because I'm not a chick.
So let me ask you this question. This would be my question is, can do the two meet? In other words, do they, yeah, okay. So in your instance,
If they don't meet, I'm hiding something. I
right,
answer the phone in front of them. I don't
yes.
put my phone face down. I do none of that stuff because today, if you can't trust me, be with it.
Somebody mute, somebody's got some background noise going on. So everybody mute that's not talking. Okay, gotcha.
It's like trust. It's all about trust.
I understand that because that was my confusion was about why is it that what you mean you can't let them go? Like, because to me,
because I think you have to define what the nature of the friend
yes,
is.
yes.
There
Can I
are
say something?
things
Wait,
that-
wait, one second. Just a second. Yep.
I don't think that jail defines that because you have this happen on the streets.
Mhm.
So that's just like a microcosm of it. I think it's defining what the nature of the relationship is first to determine whether or not why I can't let my friend go. I mean, because that's some strong,
Stuff.
yeah, that's some strong topic. To tell someone, I have this friend, I can't let this friend go. You automatically putting your significant other, whether it's male or female, on the defense if you're coming into a relationship with that type of attitude.
Saying it like
So I
that,
think
yes.
there's an overgeneralization. We have to define what John is describing is different than what James is describing. So first you have to define what is the relationship with that other person versus your significant other. If it's just friend, or is it something else? Is it something else that has happened in the past and you guys are now friends? It just depends.
Yeah.
You know?
And for me, and I'm gonna make sure, and I think Jason, that was you that wanted to say something. I'm gonna set it up so that you can talk. And one of the things that was the first thing that I said to the group was, okay, well, we need to define what's going on, what's the roles, what's the friends doing, what's the difference. And Jason, was that you that wanted to say something?
It turns out, I think often about in prison, we don't have enough access to help or resources or somebody to look stuff up or somebody just to take our call. And that's why a lot of guys can't let go because they like having two women answer the phone.
Okay. See, that's so simple. That's a simple explanation that makes so much sense to me. And you're not answering no more calls, Di? You ain't taking no more calls?
Can I say something?
But that makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me that it can be just that simple. That what I'm looking at is I want to have two people that's going to take my calls. I want to have two people that might want to put money on my books or something. Yeah, and so that makes sense to me. Thank you. So Diane,
Can I say something?
and
You
yeah,
hear me?
who was that?
This is Chester.
Chester. Okay, go ahead, Chester.
Yeah, I think when you have a best friend and your significant other, I think it's a certain level of boundaries that you have to have. And when you said that, why should I have to let my best friend go? Only way that part would come up is you making your significant other feel insecure.
Yes.
You know, like what Carl said in the back. It has to be a certain level of trust. And you set certain boundaries within your significant other and your best friend, then that's the only way to me it will really work. Relationships are different. You have a relationship with your significant other and you have a certain relationship with your best friend. It's not gonna be intimate where I'm gonna be intimate with my best friend. I'm telling her things that she should know about me and my significant other. That's us. That's our private. That's our relationship. So I think you have to you have to have them boundaries. You have to have the balance. That's what I believe,
And I'm right there with you. I agree.
And you have to make your woman feel that she can trust you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing nothing secretly. But like I say, you just have to have boundaries.
Yes, and I thank you for that because for me, the first thing I wanted to know, in respect also to what Tony said, is the first thing I wanted to know was, okay, well, what's the difference? What's the difference in the friend and what's the difference in the woman that you love? Because I have friends that men friends that I love with all my heart, but we don't have sex. That's not part of it. We share certain things, but that's not, it's not, they don't have the same, there's not the level of intimacy that I would have
Exactly.
with my man. And
Exactly.
so those are two different things. And I think when you describe the boundary, I think that makes a difference, is what are
Exactly.
the boundaries? What role? And it's dependent upon the person that's in the middle. And I'll say it this way, it's dependent on a person in the middle for this reason, because they're the ones that have to set the boundaries.
Exactly. Right.
They're the ones that have to set the boundary. It's not up to the friend or the woman.
No.
And as a woman, I can tell you, one of the most important things in a relationship to me and most of the women I know, I want to feel secure in my position in the relationship.
That part.
I want to know that this is my position, and nobody, I'm not competing for this position with nobody else. So
Exactly.
yeah, and I think if you don't set those boundaries, then that's what happens. You wind up creating chaos. And the sad part is that oftentimes I find people try to hide things that they really don't need to hide, just because they don't want to have a conversation about it. They don't want to talk about it. So let me just hide it from you, and then I don't have to talk about it. When in reality, if you talked about it and explained it, and the introduction, I had a guy tell me that he wanted to do some work with me, and I could tell that this woman, she has some insecurities in terms of her position with him. What I suspect was that at some point he had cheated on her in the past. That's the feeling that I got. But we never talked about it, because I never took it. In as much as I knew he had a woman, I never let that kind of conversation, we never talked about stuff like that. But what I did was I made sure to tell him, you should introduce me to her, because if we're going to be doing business together, then she needs to know me and I need to know her.
You know her.
And she also needs to know that she's welcome to come at any time, because we're not playing no games here. Okay, now I have to say, in hindsight and looking at what happened since, he must have thought he was going to play some games, because he didn't want to do no business with me after that neither.
Exactly. Right. Let me, can I say one thing?
Yes, you can.
My significant other is here, and she want to make a comment.
Please, by all means,
Hi.
glad you came in.
Well, okay. Thank you for having me. And I just want to say, I agree with him, and he's right. And if it's just a friend, why is it a friend that I never heard of? That's a problem. And you never discuss your relationship problems with a friend of the opposite sex, because that's going to ultimately lead into them cheating. If it's a friend, why have I never heard their name? Why have I never met them? Met them is one thing, but you never even mentioned them.
Yes.
Now something slipped, and I asked you, and you go, oh, that's my friend. No, too late. Too late, you're caught. I already know.
We ain't playing them games with you. That's right.
So I just want to contribute that, because that, don't give me that. If it's a friend, if you have a female friend, yes, female co-workers, he tells me, so. Well, I'm not worried about that. But you don't have friends that I've never heard about.
And then, you always want to make your woman feel secure. Like you said, that's the main thing. Make her feel secure. That's your significant other. That's who you be with. You treat her with the utmost respect and the love. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the boundaries come in.
And thank you for allowing me to jump in.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Please jump in anytime, darling. We surely appreciate that. And it's wonderful. Anytime we talk about anything and you around, jump right on there, move Chester out the way and tell him I got something to say. And we'll have you
because he knows
here.
Because he's been away for a while.
Yes.
So I have a lot of male friends, and every time they call, who do they say hi to?
Me.
I have nothing to hide. They know I'm not playing any games.
Right.
And I say, hey, well, you know what? We're going to have an opportunity. I want you to meet him.
Right.
There's nothing to hide there.
Right. That's what I say. That was always my question. Well, what is the difference in the how it functions? Okay, you want to say something? Come up closer, baby, so we can hear you. Thank you so much for being here. Wait a minute, what y'all do? What y'all?
That's the difference between
you gotta bend down so they can see.
That's the difference between being in a relationship with a boy and a relationship with a man, because the man is going to be always honest with you and make you feel secure because he loves you. A boy is going to play games with you because that's all he know how to do.
You're right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Boo-hoo.
Yep, that's the truth. That is absolutely the truth, and that's
that works both ways, men and women.
That's right.
If
That's
I
correct.
have male friends that you ain't never heard their name, and I slip out say the name, you say, "Hey, oh, that's my friend."
What is it, Bismarck? You say he just a friend? You said
He's just a friend.
Right, you said he was just a friend. No, he was more to it than that, right? And the issue becomes, again, I think Chester, you hit the nail on the head, and Tony, between the two of you, which is boundaries and the definition of what this friend is. What is it for me is, what is it that this friend provide that my significant other is not providing? What role are they playing that my significant other is not playing, and why is that?
Because that's the position a man or the female gives that person.
Right.
That's why.
And that's because the boundaries weren't set properly. And that is what creates confusion when there doesn't necessarily have to be confusion. So the issue is that transparency in relationship is critical. Understanding, I'm a big person, a believer in defining things. I've said to you guys before, and some of you may not have been on to hear it, but I say this: any relationship that doesn't have a definition is nothing.
Yeah.
If it's not defined, and listen, I don't have to be committed to you to define what we are. We're friends. Okay, but let me tell you this: I don't have sex with my friends, just so you know. If that's what you're trying to do, I don't have sex with my friends.
I'm not your friend.
Okay. Okay. But whatever these definitions are, the bottom line is that it has to be defined. And for me, the reason I want definition is because I want to know what's my responsibility in the relationship.
Right.
Not just what I expect from you, but what you expect from me. I need to be able to tell you, can I do that? I can't do that for you. Okay, so because if I'm your woman and you got to go to work and your mama need to go to the doctor and I can do it, I need to step up and help you with that. If you ain't my man, I ain't necessarily obligated to do that. It's not my business. On the other hand, you know, if I may step in anyway, just because we had that kind of friendship. Okay. Right. But again, what am I obligated to do? And it's very important to set those boundaries, and that's in any kind of relationship. And I'm a big believer in defining words. When we talk about friendship, what does that mean? And so I'm a friend. What kind of friend, Tony? You know what I mean? It matters what that means to you and what it means to me.
My best friend.
Best friend? Yes. This is my best friend.
That's my best friend.
And he a little on the crazy side, y'all. I pick him crazy. Don't I, Diane? Yeah, I do. Because she one of my besties too. She knows I pick the crazy people to be my besties. And do you think they say something about me?
You trying to say I'm a little crazy?
Hell yeah, you are.
I'm not trying to say anything. I said specifically okay, if you didn't hear it, you crazy too.
Oh, you said it.
I said it. I said it. Yes. And I meant that. And I was about to say, I don't know what that say about me, but that birds of a feather kind of thing. It's the birds of a feather kind of thing y'all talking about? Oh, you're the sane in the room. Oh Lord. Rufus, you hear Tony back there telling that lie? Tony says she's the sane one in the room. Rufus, I don't. And she's talking about opposites attract, so she attracted to us crazy because she the same one in the room, Rufus. I don't know. I'm just saying. I want to make sure you heard that.
I want to say one thing about what we're talking about too. I think that I want to say
Rufus got something that he wanted to say.
I want to say one more thing about what we're talking about, and I think that if there's an emotional connection with the friend that you can't separate, I mean, you can't leave that relationship, then that's a problem. Because if it's just a friend then that friend should understand, and the person should understand that if my partner is uncomfortable with whatever, it shouldn't be a problem for me to let that friend go. I mean, to distance myself, not let him go as a friend totally, her go as a friend totally, but to give myself some space from that friend.
Right.
And she should understand that. But if the connection is so close that I'm telling my girl that I'm not gonna let this, that I'm not gonna, let the friendship go, because of whatever reason, then that's an emotional connection that's a problem. That's a problem. I think so.
How you gonna start being
Yeah,
sneaky?
and it definitely, and I think there's something you said that was key, and that is the emotional attachment. And depending on what those emotions are, right? Because I was very emotional about my friend. He's passed away. I was very emotional about that. It hurt me to my heart. But he was a person, we never even had so much as a flirty conversation between the two of us. But he took on responsibilities in my life. Like he got he got mad because I used to ride around in a dirty car. So he just got sick of seeing me riding around that dirty car. And he just took, I ain't playing with you. He would either send somebody or he'd come on the weekends and wash it or take it to get it washed because he didn't want me riding around in a dirty car. Well, that was just my friend. Like I said, we never had so much as a flirty conversation. We talked about all kinds of things. Anything I could do for him. He loved my oxtails. So yes, I would cook oxtails for him. But guess what? Any woman that he had, she knew about me. And I could meet those women. There was nothing to prevent us from being in the same room together. And you know what I think it is I think where it becomes a challenge is the secrecy, the emotional attachment and the secrecy. If we start being secretive about it, I think that's where we need to start looking. And I think something James said earlier, or somebody said it earlier, you lying to yourself. If it's things that you sharing with your friend that you're not sharing with your woman, and you quote unquote can't let them go, then there's something you lying to yourself about how the feelings that you have for your friend. Yep. Right. So I think I love the fact that we, are having this discussion, and I think it will help me to help other people, as these conversations come up, because I know the lady at Solano, she wants to unpack this with the other two groups. We already did with one. She wants to unpack it again with the other two groups. And so I think that your input is also very helpful in terms of being able to share this information, because guess what? We all got challenges when it comes, and the more information we have, the better off we're going to be. The better off we're going to be, the more that we share with one another, again, because boundaries and transparency and not having secrets. What did you say, Di, about secrets? Secrets no good.
Never. A secret is never good. I don't care how you want to hide it, how you don't want to unpack it, it's never going to be good. Because it's what it's called, a secret.
And what's done in the dark is going to always come to the light. It's always going to come to the light. There's no such thing as having a secret. You know what I'm saying? What?
7-year restraining order.
What they got to do with the conversation? What happened? What happened, James? You talked to the people about restraining orders.
That's what happened.
Oh, with secrets?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's information to have. Is that secrets lead to restraining orders?
No, it does not. No, it does
Who
not.
knew? Who knew?
Not.
Okay.
No, it does not.
It can. You know it can. Look.
Lead to the grave. Just say.
Okay.
That's why I had 7-year restraining order.
So
I had my truck towed up. 7-year restraining order.
Behind some secrets.
Behind secrets. So
Well, and listen, transparency is the key, baby.
How the hell is your truck become a secret?
No, somebody tore his truck up for him having some secrets, and they found out about the secret, and they tore his car up in retribution for the secret.
Oh, good.
Lies and secrets are two different things.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't like.
Well, you know what it does.
No, I don't.
Well,
I don't, and it's just like when I went to the board, they kept saying, well, this and that. And I told them, no, it happened this way. And it happened that way. And I'm not changing my story because it's not a lie. if it's hard for me to remember a lie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, seriously, it is hard for me to remember a lie. That's why I don't, you know? And as much as they wanted me to, and they're the one talking about they could let me out, I wouldn't change it. I didn't never once. And then when they did give me parole, the leader of the parole thing on my thing, she says, Mr. Pike, I believe you. And I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. So I asked her, I said, what are you talking about? She says, you have never changed your story in the 36 years you've been down. And I said, and if I was down another 36, I wouldn't change it. What happened? What happened? They pulled a knife, I pulled a gun. I gave them a choice.
They made the wrong one.
They didn't take it.
They made a choice, they just made the wrong one.
Yeah, so I shot them both.
But again, there's something about that truth though. Like you said, I love the fact that you said you don't have to think about it, you don't have to remember.
No.
It's too hard to try to remember a lie.
It is.
You know?
You tell this person something, and then you tell that person something, and then this person something. How in the hell are you supposed to remember that?
I don't know.
I don't lie. That's why I get in trouble all the time, because I say what I think. You know? I ain't putting nothing, you know, back here some damn where. But I get in trouble because I say what I think.
Well.
And I always will. So that's all. If you don't like me because of that, stay the fuck away.
And I'm not your cup of tea. And listen, everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's not everybody's cup of tea. And I will say this, you know, like you, and maybe that's why we get along so well, is normally that is what people dislike me most for, is to tell the truth.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell the truth.
I know you are.
You know, I'm not going.
They say you mean.
They say, oh, that's what they call it. That's right. They say I'm mean because I tell them the truth. You know, if you, huh? Your adversarial, yeah, well, yeah, that usually comes along with being a truth teller as well. There's all kinds of descriptions that people give you as to who you are and what you are because you tell the truth, because they don't want to hear the truth. And so, you know, but my feeling about that is, oh, well, because again, I don't have to try to remember the lie.
Don't have to.
And the truth is going to stand when nothing else is going to stand.
Yeah.
Wake up because the lie always changes. The truth remains the same.
Yes. And I feel like the foundation, like truth as a foundation, is solid. Mm-hmm. I don't have to question what's next or what's the next story to tell or who to tell what or any of that.
But
because
if you don't want to tell somebody, you know what I'm saying? If somebody asks you something and you know if the truth would hurt them, you can just tell them, hey, I ain't gonna say.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not that I don't have an opinion, it's just I'm not gonna tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm not lying.
Right.
I'm just not sharing.
I'm just not saying what I know. And
Yeah.
and look, and I don't owe nobody everything. Nobody owes everybody every thought and every concept that's going on in their head. Okay. No, we don't. You know, one of the things is we talked about boundaries, and it's funny because the one topic that I kept wanting to get to was about boundaries. And with boundaries, people think that you don't have to allow everybody to cross every boundary that you have. Right. You can establish your boundaries and you can stand firm on those. Yep. But when you establish them, the beauty of establishing boundaries, think of them almost interchangeable with what my expectations are. The two can be the same conversation.
And how you know the person.
Right.
Because you know, I'm going to say what I think. If it crosses your boundary, I'm sorry. But if I think it, and I honestly think I'm right,
you're gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it. It's gonna come right out that mouth.
Mm-hmm. But one of the things what I wanted to get to was this too, is that when you verbalize to somebody and you clearly establish what your boundaries are, that's how you know whether or not you're going to be able to stay in relationship with that person. So if somebody, I'll give you a small example. I terribly dislike it when somebody says, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, or I'm gonna call you back later, and don't call.
Hey, well,
I don't like that.
You do that.
I don't like that.
You do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, not with the phone call. Now, what I am guilty of that I found out is that they showed me is that I'll be talking to you,
Don't say bye.
and if I think if the conversation is over, and I'll be like, all right, okay, and I hang up, I don't say bye. So listen, if I do that to you, trust me, I do it to everybody. I didn't even know I was doing it till they pointed out to me recently. But in terms of, no, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to call you and then I'm not going to call. That's not me, because it's one of my pet peeves. I just can't stand it. And if I don't call you right at that moment, I'm surely going to call you as soon as possible and tell you why I didn't call you, because it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like that. And so if I tell you that and you do it again, then that means one of two things. Either you can't fix it or you don't care to fix it. In my instance, it don't matter to me one way or the other which one it is. The bottom line is you didn't fix it. So now I'm distancing myself from you. Okay? I'm gonna distance myself because there's something that I'm telling you that is an issue for me, and you cannot meet those standards to be in relationship with me. So I just have to put you where you belong, somewhere over there. I can love you from over here, appreciate you for this, but I'm not letting you get that close. That's just a boundary for me. That doesn't mean that everybody else have to have the same boundary, right? That doesn't bother everybody else. But whatever yours are, you got to make them known to the people in your life. That's your responsibility. You cannot assume that somebody knows what your boundaries are. You cannot assume that somebody knows what your expectations are, what your needs are. If you don't say it to them, and I mean using words to tell them what it is, you can't do hints. Well, I figured if I told them this, they would know that this is what I'm. No, you gotta come out your mouth and say this is what I need, this is what I expect, and then all you can do from that point is wait and watch and see what they do from there.
So you never told somebody, I'll get back to you. Somebody's coming on the other line and you hang up with them, talk to them, and don't call the other one back?
Well,
Sometimes that's gonna happen.
yeah, in the sense of in work or something like that, but not personal, just friends, and we talking, me and you, intimate partners, and we talking, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Okay, baby, good night, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, and then don't call.
Right.
No.
You're not gonna call?
I'm gonna call. If that's what I say I'm gonna do.
Right. Okay.
I absolutely am. Now, when it comes to, like I say, when it comes to work, if I'll put it to you this way too, if this over here is work, and I work a lot.
Yeah.
I work a lot. So if I'm telling you, oh, I gotta go or whatever, and I say I'm gonna get back to you, if I can't get back to you today, I'm gonna get back to you as soon as I can. You see what I'm saying? If I say that, chances are I'm saying I didn't even say when.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I didn't say I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes. Or I'm, you know what I'm saying? 9 times, especially if I'm busy.
Mm-hmm. I'm
gonna say, if I say, and I'm gonna get back to you. It may not be right now, it may not be in an hour, but I am gonna get back to you.
You know the one I like what you say when you call me?
What's that?
I was going to call you. I was thinking about you and all this Humpty Dumpty Dumpty.
Not the Humpty Dumpty. Talk about my words.
And then when I call you, you say, "Oh yeah, I was thinking about calling you."
Well,
and I go, "Well, why didn't you?" You know what?
Well, I'm gonna tell you to your face why. Because
Why?
I was busy. Duh. Did y'all not hear me say I work a lot? Is it something that he missed in the conversation? Clean them ears, boo boo. Hear me when I tell you, I work a lot.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
So
the world stops.
yeah, it's true. No, listen.
You want that? Yeah,
he does.
It starts with me.
He does. He thinks whatever he say, when he say he needs something, that means everybody's supposed to stop everything right now. That is true.
That is true.
You gotta admit that's the case.
I know that's true.
So listen. So if he calling me on some stuff, I can't do nothing about this stuff right now. I got the investors, I got the lenders, I got the tenants call, the crazy stat.
In the office in the morning.
Right. He go down
No.
there and bother my staff every day.
Every day.
Every day he go down there and bother my staff.
And they say somebody be talking about something, and then I say something about what they were talking about. What the hell are you doing in that conversation? Y'all got there. And I tell them, me.
He's crazy. But anyway, I'm so glad that we got to have this conversation about
Time to go.
About the difference between a friend and what I would say, and I'm going to do this, is what I took away from tonight is what I originally thought was the issue. Wait, you guys. So what I originally thought about the conversation was, number one, that you need to define the difference, what the friend looks like and what the intimate partner is. The person you love, who you love, or whatever that is. Define the difference for yourself, if nobody else. What are the different functions that they play in your life? Ask yourself those questions. What does it look like? What's the difference? Even you can even put down on a piece of paper. Well, with this one I do this, and with this one I don't, or this I do with both of them. And then also, so that was important, is the definition of what the friend does versus the other person. Well, and then the other thing is, for me, that I got from it was is no secrets. Right. And as long as we can all be friends, then that's a good thing. So I like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to each of you, and I'm going to start with you, Rufus, for a checkout. Any last thoughts you had on the or any last thing you want to share?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. The last thing I want to say is that what Chester said. You have to make your significant other feels comfortable and confident in the relationship, and that's on the middleman or the middle person to do that. And if you're not doing that, then that's a problem.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I agree wholeheartedly.
And I appreciate the topic.
Wonderful, thank you, Jason.
Boundaries are important. We all got to know them, set them, and recognize and respect them.
Wonderful. Glad to have you with us too. Hope you come back.
Thank you.
Mr. Hilton, you wasn't here to check in, but hi. How you doing?
What's up? How you doing?
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I had some issues. I was a friend, but and tonight I had issues with my cell phone. So, but I mean, I was listening to the topic. At first, I was kind of confused, right? I mean, what's the difference between a friend and a significant other? I mean, I don't get the friend issue over the significant other, personally.
Well, that was part of my confusion too, Hilton. It came up in a conversation in Solano on one of the groups, and several of them talked about having friends that they wouldn't let go of and still having a woman that they loved. And I didn't understand, and I'm sure it's because of the definition. So I didn't understand the difference either, which was again why I wanted to bring it to this group so that maybe we could unpack it and help me. And I did learn some things. So that was the difference.
I think I come away with only one thing, was that the length of period of time between the two, you know what I mean, came to light in my mind. The friendship probably was, I mean, if you have a childhood friendship and you guys, and that grew into adulthood, that's a strong relationship in itself. When you have a significant other, that person wasn't in his life, his whole life. That came into light. But when you pick a significant other to love, and you love that person, that changes a lot of things, I think.
I think so too.
All right. So
I agree. Totally agree. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mr. Otis. Otis.
Yeah, I got you, Noreen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I believe in everything. You got to have an honest relationship before you can have a good a friend. A friend comes in with your wife, your neighbors, or you become friendship with them people. But you got to be honest in everything you do. So I believe in honesty and truth, and having good friendship with your wife and a good love. Same thing with your wife. So everything works out. If you don't tell the truth, it's not going to work out.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Totally agree. Thank you for sharing that with us. Chester, any final comments from you or the young lady? You're muted, sweetie. Unmute for me.
I don't think they hear you.
Yeah, he's trying to unmute it now.
There you go.
You hear me now?
I can. Yes, I can.
All right. I think with me, I think you have to be, you set boundaries, number one, have good communication and be transparent,
Yes.
period.
Yes.
You know, I think them is the three rules you have to live by, and make your woman always feel secure.
Indeed.
Or your man.
Or your man, exactly. Your
That's right.
significant other, period. So
Thank
them
you.
are
I
my
appreciate
thoughts.
that. Anything
Yes.
specific the young lady would like to say?
No, basically that's the same thing. And you don't have friends of the other sex that that your partner doesn't know or hear about. That is a dead giveaway.
Right. Right.
I can't just one day go, he says, where are you going? Oh, who's that in the car? Oh, that's just my friend Jerome. No, that does not work.
That ain't gonna fly all of a sudden.
If it's a friend of yours, it should be able to be a friend of both of ours.
I'm with you, darling. And what's your name?
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for contributing and being a part of this conversation. I really appreciate that. And we would love
thank you. He's
time here.
Okay, thank you. He's encouraged me to be a part of. So, and I like the group. I like the group. It's real conversation and it's real feelings and it's real business. It's just real. Why lie?
Awesome. Appreciate
the truth may hurt, but so if you got secret friends of the other sex that your partner doesn't know about, you really need to think about what is your full intention on this.
Yes. Check yourself. Don't before you wreck yourself, right? Check yourself.
Exactly.
Why do you feel that way? And you might, and listen, I think people have discovered that they're in love with somebody that they've been friends with for a long time. And this lady, gospel singer, I think it's Tasha Cobb Leonard. Her and her husband, they have been friends for many, many years. He got married and divorced and everything. And then they realized that they had a love for each other. They've been married ever since. So it can develop, but again, you gotta be transparent. And I think that matters. Right. So thank you again for sharing that with us. And now I want to go in the room. Wake up, meathead. Any final comments from you?
And y'all gonna
Nobody had no money for you. Anybody got no money for you? Slide up, Ben, so you can. Any final comments?
It's not easy to work for a long time.
I'll get it all up. Trust me, there's gonna be more.
I'm gonna go in the back room for a minute.
But it's possible to be
What you gonna cook?
I told you.
Not to have intimacy with somebody who really but we have to have a good conscience, to understand where is a friend and where is something part of the life,
Yeah.
This is very important. It's not just like I'm gonna test. No, it's something else. I gotta feel in my heart,
There's something different. Yeah, there's something more to it than that. Wonderful. Who? Jason. Any final comments? No. Oh no, that was a Chester and his significant other Michelle were on. And Chester's been on before, but Michelle, this was her first time. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry, baby. Sir.
First and foremost, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the group. It just, I had a different outlook because I got a lot of female friends that I talk to, but I don't never look at them like that because it's just friends, you know. So I didn't quite understand it, but I don't feel somebody trying to tell me who I have to let go, and I just have to tell them who I have to let go. If you're introduced to me, you're introduced to me, but then if I got any suspicion, I'm gonna address it, but I don't go through phones and you gotta let that person go. Why you have to talk about that? Because like I said, if you don't trust me, I gotta be with you. I don't trust you, I gotta be with you. So
Hey, nephew, let me just say this. We on the same page. Because if I gotta do all that, I don't need to be with you.
right.
No, for real. Like that means that I don't need to be with you. Miss Roberta,
I don't really believe that a man would be okay with.
can you look at the camera for me? Just a-
Okay, I just wanna say good night. I just don't believe that a male would allow his girlfriend to have a male best friend, whatever that weirdness. He don't wanna meet him. He don't wanna meet him. Most guys
Got you.
trying to meet no other male. Come
As a
on,
friend.
girl.
I told you the song they wrote. He said you say he just a friend, remember? And he's like, no, she ain't have.
Ain't okay with that.
Okay. Okay.
I enjoyed the topic of the conversation once again because I believe in being upfront and honest, but everybody don't know how to do that. So if you start off like that from the beginning with your boundaries and being honest on what you have going on, like what I have going on, and I think everything can work out.
Awesome sauce. Final thoughts, darling.
I absolutely disagree.
Okay, that's fine.
Because
Honesty is the best key.
honesty is the best policy, but I agree with Roberta. Like, I think it's harder for men to accept you having a male friend than it is, you know, you can start
But I
off
can be
honest.
honest to you though, you don't have to accept it, but I'm just saying, at least I'm being honest about it. That's my whole thing. I'm being honest about it.
Okay. Sir James, you're gonna give us the last comment for the evening, sir.
All I'm gonna say is this, transparency, honesty, and, respect. If you have that in a relationship, then you have the ultimate gift. If you have a friend and your friend understands their boundaries as a friend, you keep that, it's good. But anytime you try to have blurred lines, no good.
No good. Wonderful. So I just want to say, thank you everybody for your participation in another wonderful session of Free to Heal. And we will see you guys next week on Free to Heal, okay? See you guys later. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, X, all these places, Facebook. Check us out, okay? See you then. Bye.
Bottle caps for free.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I had to stop the recording.